Happy Sunday, people, and I hope you've had a good Remembrance Day. Is it just me? Is this just my own personal experience, personal take on things, or are the numbers up significantly at the various Remembrance Day parades and memorials that are taking place today? So I can only speak from my own experience. So we took the dog out for a big long walk this morning and decided to walk a different route and to walk up to the local memorial, which is sort of on the route. And we thought we'd get there just before 11, do the 2-minute silence, listen to some of the quick speeches and the wreaths being laid, and then walk on to the park. So we got there just before 11, and it was absolutely packed. We couldn't get in. We had to stand literally on the road outside, trying to sort of look over the bush and through the gaps of people, and just stood there quietly for a couple of minutes for the 2-minute silence. Then listened to the band play, listened to some of the wreaths being laid, but couldn't see anything, couldn't get near it. I don't know how many people were there, but bear in mind this is quite a small sort of little local memorial, and I reckon there were easily 300 people there, which seems to me to be more than there normally are. When I've seen it in the past or been there in the past, it doesn't seem to have been that many people. Does that mirror your experience? Does that mirror what you're seeing where you live and what you're seeing on TV? And if that is the case, why is that the case? Personally speaking, I think it's very much a reflection of the same thing that's going on in the country with the Raise the Colours campaign and with flags being put up everywhere. I think people just sense, British people sense in their core that we are under pressure, under attack, that the country is sort of in trouble, and that there are groups and influences within the country that are anti-British, anti our traditions, anti our culture, anti our history. And therefore, in typical British fashion, it's a very quiet way of fighting back. Let's put flags up everywhere. Let's make sure that we all go to the memorials. Church attendances apparently are up, and they're up quite significantly amongst younger people, 10 to 15% higher than they have been, which still means they're not exactly packed to the rafters. They're still not full, but the numbers are going up rather than down. And to me, it's a sort of a reflection of what's going on. Deep in their core, people feel, even everyday normal people feel, that we are in trouble. And therefore we need to take just small actions, just small things to try and recapture some ground that we've lost, recapture our identity, and restate what the country is about, what we stand for, what we believe in, where we want it to go. And it's a good start. It is a start. You don't necessarily need to be shouting and screaming from the rooftops. Numbers make a difference. And numbers putting flags up, numbers attending church ceremonies, numbers attending Remembrance Day parades, numbers quietly saying no, numbers quietly saying I do not comply, numbers outside hotels, numbers putting pressure on their MPs, numbers starting to recognise that people like, for example, Tommy, the man whose name I can't mention on here, was probably right after all. Numbers, generally speaking, recognising that the mainstream media haven't been telling you the truth, don't tell you the truth. And not only that most of the mainstream political parties don't represent you. In fact, almost the entire establishment, the political classes, the civil service, the authorities, the police, the courts, the judges, don't represent you. To some extent, you're on your own, and you've got to take a stand, and you've got to do things on your own. And I sort of get the impression that that is being reflected in lots of little small gestures and lots of little small ways. And I love it. So as I say, that's just my personal take on it. That just comes from me walking the dog and going up to the local memorial this morning and seeing what I saw. Does that reflect your experience? Is that what you see? Is that what you feel? Is that what you feel people are doing? Let me know.